Yo guys, what is up? Is your number one Harley here, and today I'm finally bringing you a combo and general gameplay guide for Harley Quinn. We're gonna start off with some basic bread and butter combos, and we're gonna go all the way up to the infinites. We're gonna break them all down, as well as give a couple of general tips and guidelines on what your general game plan is gonna look like for Harley. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. That's pretty cool, huh? Alright, here we are in the lab, guys. The first thing we're going to talk about is our jabs and our down tilt. They do combo with each other, but let's break it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get a total of 4 jabs there. She does that little looking off into the distance animation, but you don't have to do it. You can just cancel out of it and do an up tilt or up air or whatever. And then down tilt, you only get the 2. But the cool thing between these two moves is you can throw in your down tilt during any part of the jab. So 1, 2 down tilts. That's true. Let's reset it here so we don't get stale. 1, 2, 3 into down tilts. 1 into down. You guys get the picture. Obviously, you won't be able to do 4 into down tilts because they'll fall out of it. Let's talk about up tilt next. This is what it looks like if you fully charge it. Obviously, there's no way to combo into the fully charged up tilt. You can also slide this around. It's pretty cool. The reason I bring up tilt, let's say we're doing some jabs, you want to up tilt right after that. Maybe do some vertical pressure there. Because if they're above you, that's like the best spot for them to be versus you. But yeah, so something might look like fair, jabs, up tilt, up air. Then you can keep up the vertical pressure here until they die. Something like that. Very, very viable. Jab-wise, I never use the 4th jab. I usually do about 2 and then go into it. It just seems like to have them at the best possible place when you're hitting them above you. But you can also do it into 3 because then you get the ground bounce. You can get a ground bounce off of 3. Alrighty, so the next move we're going to talk about is fair. Usually you get the 2 kicks. That's probably your best engage tool. There's some other ways to engage depending on who you're playing against, but fair leads into pretty much everything. Obviously, you can Bode mode out of that or whatever. We'll talk about that a little bit later, so make sure you're sticking around for the infinite breakdown. But fair, you can go into jabs after that, into down tilt like we just talked about. Rack up some pretty good damage that way. Fair also has a 3rd kick if you are high enough. That's a good combo. That's a good combo finisher option on the edge. You have to hit them, as you can see. I can't use the 3rd one over here on the side. If they're like really close to the blast zone, that's a good way to try and push them into the blast zone. Okay, so the next tech we're going to talk about is called triple bounce, super bounce, whatever you want to call it. The best way to do it is to start it from down air, but you can also hit it with fair, placed properly. It's a little bit different on how you hit it on each character. The light characters' hitboxes, since they're usually tinier, are a little bit harder to hit, but you can do it on everybody, including Arya, who's the hardest to hit in general. But let's take a look. So you can see there, we had him bouncing so many times against the ground that when we hit the grounded hammer, we were able to follow it up after he triple bounced. The key to that one is to make sure the fair placement is correct, like after a down air or something. So basically how it's going to go, down air into fair, and then you get that, see how they bounce there? If you hit it correctly, they'll bounce a few times, and then you can grounded hammer and follow up off of that. Another way to activate the super bounce is jabs in succession. So what we're going to do here is fair into our jabs. Roll, like dodge roll, jab again, and he should have enough momentum into the ground that we can grounded hammer. As such. Now we're going to break down a little bit more advanced things of Harley. This next one is called the hot hammer. Basically what's going to happen on this one is we're going to hit the hammer on the exact frame that it connects with our opponent. We're going to dodge away and go into jabs or fair or something to extend a true combo. It is a frame perfect input, so it is a little bit tricky to do, but it can be optimized. Something like that. Obviously, I dropped Bode mode there, but you get the picture. We frame perfect hit our hammer and dodged right into our next move. Just like that. All right, it's the time you guys have all been waiting for. We're going to break down the infinites again, just like we did in our advanced guide here. If you haven't seen that already, make sure you check it out. We're going to talk about Bode Mode 1 first. There are 2 versions of it. The first one is for heavy characters, and the second one is for all of the light characters. So let's go ahead and break down the first one. Boom! Something like that is how you do the Bode mode 1. So breaking down the Bode mode, it's fair into jabs 3 times. Just like that. That's already 43% damage by itself. So now the tricky part, the short hop dare. If you short hop it too high, they have a dodge window before you hit him with your down air. If you short hop it too low, you go into jabs, and you risk staling the combo, and that gives them plenty of dodge window. We'll do 1 set here, and then we'll go into that down air. See, that was too high. You got out of it. Now I'll see what happens when you do it too low. I jabbed. If that was at the end of the 3 sets, it would have staled the combo. He would have been able to dodge out. So now let's do it just right here. We're going to go 3 sets into our down air, and the combo resets just like that. Moving on to Bode Mode 2, the light version. This works on any light character. You have to do this rendition in order to infinite the light characters. Something just like that. Now let's go ahead and break down Bode Mode 2 on the light version. You're going to fair into dodge jab. I would suggest breaking down this into 2 parts, starting with that one. High fair, dodge into a jab. You can do it with a neutral, with just a dodge like that, an air dodge. But it's easier if you dodge into the ground after your fair like this. You get a little bit more speed that way, rather than in the air. Watch where I catch him. Watch where I catch Batman here when he catches off the ground. You want him just to barely come off the ground. That's the most optimal spot to keep it up. So once you get that first part, start practicing it with down air before trying to go into another fair. Jab, jab, into down air. Fair, dodge, jab, jab, down air, just like that. And this is all with confetti. You can do it with glove control. It's probably even easier with glove control, but confetti will be better in the long run. Once you get that dare locked in, just put it all together. Just like that. Yo guys, what is up? Future Mogul here. As of September 8th, GIZMO and a bunch of extra stuff was added to the game. It changes Harley a little bit, so I'm going to put the tips, tricks, and everything, and general gameplay we're going to talk about, and the updates to Harley in a new video. So stay tuned for that one. I appreciate you guys. Now for the outro. So there you have it, guys. There is your combo guide and general gameplay and tips, ideas for Harley Quinn. If you have any further questions, make sure you comment below. I always respond to every comment that I can. As well as make sure you stop by a Twitch stream. We stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, as well as throwing extra days in there because we love Multiversus so much. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube to know when our gameplay, guides, and other Multiversus content goes live with the bell icon on. In the meantime, though, I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to keep having fun playing Harley and Multiversus. I will see you then. Peace out, everybody.